Hello students, as we are discussing the lesson number 4 of class 8, that is force and pressure. Today we will discuss about little bit about the Newton's laws and we classify the force. So before starting, let us recapitulate the things that we have learned. In our previous video, we have learned about the resultant or net force. What is resultant or net force? The total force acting on a body. The total force acting on a body is called the resultant force. And resultant force is also known as a net force. And we concluded from this that when two forces act on an object in the same direction, for example, when two forces act on an object in the same direction, the resultant force is found by adding the forces. Resultant force can be found out by adding the forces, and it moves the object in the same direction as the force. And in another case, when two forces act on an object in the opposite direction, when two equal forces act on an object in opposite direction, the resultant force will be 0 and the object will not move. Balanced force and unbalanced force. When two forces are in opposite direction and possesses equal magnitude, then these forces are called a balanced force. When equal and opposite forces are applied on an object, then the object will not move. It will said to be at rest, or it is said to be in equilibrium. Unbalanced force, when two forces acting on an object are different, the object undergoes a change in its state of rest or motion. The change caused depends on net force acting on it, and this pair of different forces is called unbalanced forces. Now, today we will discuss Newton's law. Newton's law. We have learned so far that if a body is at rest, and no unbalanced force act on it, it will remain at rest. It will remain at rest until or unless an external force is applied on an object. Second thing, we have learned that if a body is moving and no unbalanced force acts on it, it will continue to move at a constant speed in a fixed direction. And the third thing is that if an unbalanced force act on a body, the body will accelerate. So these three facts taken together, and they form Galileo's law of inertia, which is also known as Newton's first law of motion. This idea actually was suggested by the Galileo and was later formulated into a law by Newton, Sir Isaac Newton. And we can state Newton's first law as follows. A body at rest will remain at rest, and a body in motion will remain in uniform motion unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. And it is also known as law of inertia. What is inertia? As we have already discussed, it is the inability of a body to change its own state of rest or state of uniform motion is known as the inertia until or unless an external force is applied on an object. We can explain the Newton's first law of inertia by an activity. For example, we do an card and coin experiment, or you can say activity. I am taking a empty glass, a cardboard, and I am placing a 5 rupee coin on it. Now I have placed a coin on the card And now I will flick the card sharply in horizontal direction. The card flies away. You can see that the card flies away and the coin drops into the glass. Coin drops into the glass. What does it shows? Initially, there was two forces on the coin. There was two forces on the coin. First one, the earth pulls the coin downward. And that is called the weight of an object. And the card pushes it upward. That is a normal force. And the force, both the two forces balance each other and the coin remain at rest in the first case. When we apply a horizontal force on the card, it is accelerated and it moves away in second case, since the friction between the card and the coin is negligible. And there is no force on the coin in horizontal direction and it remains in its original position due to inertia of rest. Actually, inertia is law of inertia can be defined into two types, inertia of rest and inertia of motion. And when the card moves away, in third case, when the card moves away from underneath the coin, the normal force on the coin becomes zero. The normal force on the coin becomes zero. And the weight is the only force on the coin and hence it accelerated downward. The coin accelerated downward to fall into the glass. Now, second law of inertia. Actually, the Newton's first law tells us about the force. Newton's first law tells us about the force. Force is the cause of acceleration. Force is caused by the acceleration. And we know that there are small forces and large forces. If you can push a body gently or very hard, that is called the magnitude. That is called magnitude. If you push a body gently, then a small acceleration is produced, and if you push the body harder, the larger acceleration is produced. So this gives us a way to compare numerically the strength of two forces. Apply the forces separately to the same body and measure the acceleration. So according to Newton's second law, the net force acting on a body is proportional to the mass. We have already discussed the mass. Material contained by a quantity contained by a material is called its mass. So the net force acting on a body is proportional to the mass of body and its acceleration. Newton's second law is generally used in sports. For example, let us take the example, if you jump from a height on a hard floor, you can hurt your feet. If you jump from a height on a hard floor or a concrete floor, you can hurt your feet. This is because the feet come to rest in a very short time and hence the force exerted on your feet. By the floor is very higher. That is why athlete doing high jump land on sand or foam. And this increases the time in which the body comes to rest. The sand gives way, allowing the body to slow down gradually. And this decreases the force on the body and the landing is comfortable. Newton's third law, actually it is also known as a tit for tat. You can simply remember the Newton's third law as a tit for tat. Every action has equal and opposite reaction. If any interaction between two bodies, the force applied by the first body on the second body is equal and opposite by the force applied by the second body on the first. You can also take the example. For example, let's take the example of a tug of war. Tug of war. There are two teams hold a rope. Team A and Team B. They hold the rope and each team try to pull the other toward its side. And for this, each player pushes the ground in the forward direction. They pushes the ground in a forward direction. By Newton's third law, the ground exerts a backward. The ground exerts a backward force on the player. And we show the force exerted by the player on the ground by white arrows like this. This shows the force exerted by the ground. For example, now let us consider two teams and the rope as a large body. This is a rope and there are two teams. If two teams push the ground, equally hard, both are pushing the ground equally hard, the force on this combined body toward the right is equal to the force on it toward the left. Both will apply the same forces on the ground. So, Newton's third law tells us about every action has equal and opposite reaction. Now, classification of force. Force can be broadly classified into two types, that is contact and non-contact. And contact force further classified into muscular force, frictional force and mechanical force, whereas non-contact force can be further classified into magnetic force, gravitational force and electrostatic force. Now, what is contact force? Contact force are forces which act only when objects are in physical contact with each other and bring about changes. Whereas non-contact force is a force which can act even when objects are not in physical contact with each other and bring about changes. So today we will discuss only contact forces. They are further classified into muscular force, frictional force and mechanical force. So let us discuss the muscular force. As the name indicates, muscular. The force exerted by the muscles of the body is called muscular force and it is applied to lift the body. For example, if we have to carry the bucket, then we are applying our muscular force on the bucket to carry it. To swim, we also apply the muscular force. To ride on a bicycle and to do many other things. Even when we are writing, we are applying the muscular force. You can generally see that the workers or the laborers, they carry load on their head. It is also a muscular force. Bullocks use muscular force to pull carts. Second force is frictional force. Frictional force, the bodies placed in contact can also exert forces parallel to the surface in contact. For example, if it is a table and a book is lying on the table. If you gently push the book, there is a contact between the book and the table. So the force between them is frictional force, and frictional force always act in opposite direction. Opposite direction. So force, this force is called the force of frictional and also called friction or frictional force. A force, or simply you can define the friction as a force that opposes the motion of an object and arise due to contact between two surfaces. For example, when you stop pedaling a cycle, it generally slows down and finally comes to stop. A ball rolled on the ground stop after a short distance. A boat moving in water comes to rest if we stop rowing it. The third force is mechanical force. The force applied by a machine is called mechanical force. For example, driver applies brake to stop the moving vehicle, hammering the nail, pulley, lever, and inclined plane. These are inclined plane. Mixer grinder that we use in our home, they are also machines and they apply mechanical force to grind the spices or other things. Pushing the key down to type characters on computer. Pedaling bicycle is also an example of a mechanical force. So, on the basis of Newton's law and contact forces, you have to do some questions. These are the assignment questions. Explain the meaning of inertia. Give appropriate example to explain the inertia. When you jump on a concrete surface, your feet hurt more than when you jump on sand. Explain on the basis of Newton's law. Third question is state Newton's third law of motion and give one example. Question number 4. Define contact force and distinguish between muscular force, frictional force and mechanical force. In our next video, we will discuss about non-contact forces. Thank you.